Okay, it's like deja vu, like we weren't here before, but we're here again. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome, it's May, people.
Good evening.
To the Marlboro Township Board of Education special meeting. I know, it's a little loud, but that's okay. May 2nd, 2022, 7 p.m. at Marlboro Memorial Middle School. Good evening, Vin. Can you call to order?
Sure, roll call. Mrs. Amster?
Here.
Mrs. Branch?
Here.
Mr. Petruno?
Here.
Ms. Piernick?
Here.
Mrs. Rosato? Mrs. Shrem? Mrs. Salaci?
Here.
Mrs. Strafasi? And Dr. Heller?
Here. I will now read Sunshine Law. It be advised that this meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, Sunshine Law, and that the adequate notice of the date, time, and agenda has been sent to the Asbury Park Press and the news transcript and has been posted and filed with the Marlboro Township Clerk. Copies have also been sent to each district school and other area newspapers in accordance with the law. Going to read, I'm not going to read in full, but I will bring to your attention to the statement of videotaping of public portion of Board of Education meetings, public comment statements, no smoking or vaping on school grounds. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Positive quote, people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Abraham Lincoln. So, let me take a moment. Last Wednesday was National Administrative Professionals Day. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to recognize those professionals working in our district. Their dedication is greatly appreciated. The impact they have upon our district staff, students, guardians, and parents is significant. Thank you for all you do. Last Thursday was Take Your Child to Work Day. I do hope it was an exciting time for the staff and those little ones who visited. Today is National Teacher Day. This week, this is a week to appreciate educators. I truly appreciate all that you do. The job of an educator goes beyond the classroom. Educators are engaged in their classes during the evening and on weekends. From lesson plans to grading to preparation, teaching is a craft, which requires lots of tweaking and shifting. As someone who has been in education for over 20 years, I know. Thank you for all you do. I recognize and appreciate what you do, not only as a member of the board, but as a parent. Keep moving forward. Finally, allow me to recognize all of the other staff members in our district, especially during this special meeting. Thank you for all you do. You are necessary, you are appreciated, we are thankful, you are part of Marlboro Public Schools. So thank you very much to all, and I do appreciate everything you do. I'm gonna move to announcements. Dr. Hibbs or Vinny, any announcements?
Just a quick one on, Take Your Child to Work Day. Our schools were teeming with kids everywhere, so it was just a great day. Great day, a day we look forward to every year. So to answer your question, it was a fabulous day.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And so what we're going to do moving, Vin, I'm sorry, do you have anything?
No announcement.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to go to public comments. Those who wish to speak should state their full name and place of residence. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Please use the timer in front to be mindful of your time. Members of the public should be respectful and avoid back and forth or debate with administration, professionals, or board members responding to inquiry or comment. Again, no back and forth. Be respectful and civil. School board members and administration will hold comment until after public comments. Vin?
Sure, so I have none electronically and I did not receive the list yet, so I would open this if anybody signed up front to speak. No?
Okay.
Okay.
All 4 right in a row.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to close public comments. Administrators and or board members will respond afterward. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trish, any discussion? I see none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it. Would anyone from the board or the administration like to comment? I see none. Okay, now moving forward, on to Dr. Hibbs, harassment, intimidation, bullying, HIB report for April 14th to April 27th, 2022.
Thank you, Dr. Heller. There were 0 incidents from April 14th through April 27th.
Thank you. Dr. Hibbs, communications, please.
No, sir.
Thank you. Kathleen, can you please read organization matters?
The superintendent of schools submits the following resolutions for approval. 1, board secretary. 2, board attorney. 3, board auditor. 4, insurance agent. 5, insurance consultant. 6, school physician. 7, board designee. 8, public agency compliance officer. 9, district section 504 coordinator. 10, section 504 coordinator for program accessibility. 11, approval of qualified purchasing agent for bidding, purchasing, and sale of property. 12, procurement of goods and services through state agency for the 2022-2023 school year. 13, purchase professional services. 14, Open Public Records Act. 15, designation of legal newspaper. 16, tax sheltered annuity companies. I so move.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Jen, any discussion, please? Kathleen?
For number 14, the Open Public Records Act, has something been changed, tweaked, that it's listed here? Are we changing something in it, or it's just this is formality that it has to be listed, and it's the same exact wording as last year?
Vin?
What was your question again? Sorry, Mrs. Anderson.
That's okay, I forgot to. Has anything changed in this Public Records Act from last year? Has anything been tweaked, changed, moved?
Right, so the resolution did revise, but we revised it last year. So this was a revision. We were using an old one last year. We wound up amending it, and this is just the amended one going forward. This is the new one.
So this reads the same exact way as it
The
does?
process of Oprah and the formality of the way it works in our district is not changing. It was just
Okay.
the language was
Thank you.
for the resolution.
Thank you. Any other discussion? I see none. Vin, please. Roll call.
Okay, roll call vote. Mrs. Strafasi?
Yes, everything except I'm abstaining on number 13.
Mrs. Branch?
Yes.
Mr. Petruno?
Yes.
Ms. Piernick?
Yes.
Mrs. Salachi?
Yes.
Mrs. Amster?
Yes.
And Dr. Heller?
Yes. Trish, can you please read financial and business matters?
The superintendent of schools submits the following resolutions for approval. 1, authorized signatures. 2, uniform minimum chart of accounts. 3, before and after school care program. 4, after-school sports enrichment programs. 5, renewal of contract educational data services for purchasing procedures for the 23-24 school year. 6, HIB report. 7, approval of agreement E-rate consulting. 8, reaffirmation of team teaching integrated preschool tuition. 9, reaffirmation of disability insurance. 10, approval of agreement with Bayada Home Health Care for the provision of substitute nursing services. 11, travel. I so move.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Joe, please. Any discussion?
Yeah, I had a
Aldo?
question. Yeah, for number 5, the renewal of the contract for educational data services and purchasing procedures, is that for specific material? Basically my question is, if the curriculum is still being looked at, and if we're waiting for the curriculum department and Mr. Blown and everyone to come back this summer with it, how do we know what to purchase now? Or is this just anticipating the purchase?
Yeah. Vin, you want to take that?
Yeah,
Dana?
so Ed Data is
Good
a
question.
cooperative purchasing agent we use. Basically, it's for all of the teachers. I believe they get up to $150 or $200 where they are able to purchase all of their classroom supplies, so it has nothing to do with
Got it.
curriculum.
Okay, perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? I see none. Vin, roll call, please.
Sure, Mrs. Amster?
Yes.
Mr. Petruno?
Yes.
Ms. Piernick?
Yes.
Mrs. Salachi,
Yes.
Mrs. Trafasi,
Yes.
Mrs. Branch,
Yes.
and Dr. Heller.
Yes. Aldo, can you please read curriculum matters?
Yeah, how do you want me to do this? You want me to read them all, or
No, just one point at a time.
Okay. Curriculum matters. The superintendent of schools submits the following resolution for approval. 1, curriculum guides.
Say you're good. You're
I
good.
so,
I so.
I so move.
do I have a second?
Second.
Kathleen, I saw her hand. Do you have any discussion? Any discussions? No? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I had actually sent an email earlier, and I appreciate everyone that got back to me so quickly. If I could just get a little further clarification on this, because I know at the April workshop meeting, the curriculum committee and the board had agreed that they were gonna, look at the health curriculum, and this is basically going to get the curriculum guides, but how are we, so it's, the email that was sent to me today by Mr. Balone to answer my question essentially said that we're basically just voting on a list, but can you walk me through this? Because I don't understand, if we don't know what the curriculum is yet, how are we voting on this?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Mike. You got it.
Good evening, Mr. Petruno. This is essentially just a list. The actual individual guides, when the changes are made, then they individually come to the board for approval. So there are a lot of other curriculum guides being worked on over this summer, not just comprehensive health. So those guides are also listed here. This is simply just a list of the guides attached to the courses in which they're taught. So when the actual guide gets worked on and the changes are made, we will bring them to the board for approval.
Individually.
Individually. Does that make sense?
This is the overall list. So let's say, for instance, we were working on digital design, geometry, and mathematics 2.5. You would then get a copy of those curriculums, and you would be able to see what those changes were, and they would come individually for a vote through a discussion on an agenda. So this is just a reorg meeting where it's just we're reapproving all of our curriculum, but some of these were absolutely going to change. So health, for instance, as the example, will 100% be updated this summer, and then you will receive a copy of the entire curriculum with changes and proposed plan like we talked about, and then it will be voted on by the board.
Okay.
Can I just add to that, when we do that, the board approval date is listed, correct? So you would see the changes of the date reflected there that says that's when we actually approved that curriculum. So it's just a list of all of the curriculum and the dates that we have approved it. And so when we vote on the individual curriculums, those dates reflect then the current stuff that we voted on.
Policy works the same way, Mr. Petruno. So the policy will say date revised type of a thing.
Got it. Thank you.
Got it.
Any other discussion? I see none. Vin, roll call, please.
Sure. Mrs. Branch,
Yes.
Ms. Piernick,
Yes.
Mrs. Salachi,
Yes.
Mrs. Trafasi,
Yes.
Mrs. Amster,
Yes.
Mr. Petruno,
Yes.
and Dr. Heller.
Yes. Jen, no, not Jen. Jess, can you please read personnel matters?
Sure. The superintendent of schools submits the following resolutions for approval. 1, retirements. 2, resignations. 3, full-time teaching staff. We have a lot of staff.
That's a long one.
8 schools.
Fortunately, the numbers aren't that bad. So.
4, part-time teaching staff. 5, school psychologists. 6, certificated administrators. 7, operational administrators. 8, stipend supervisor of building and grounds. 9, non-aligned certificated administrators. 10, non-aligned non-certificated administrators. 11, non-aligned support staff. 12, secretarial personnel. 13, special education instructional assistants. 14, kindergarten basic skills instructional assistants. 15, school monitors. 16, school aides. 17, buildings and grounds staff. 18, stipends, maintenance workers. 19, head custodians, maintenance foreman and night custodial supervisor. 20, stipend, head custodians, maintenance foreman and night custodial supervisor. 21, courier. 22, bus drivers. 23, bus attendants. 24, computer technicians 1. 25, computer technician 2. 26, district network technician. 27, registered nurses. 28, permanent floater school nurse. 29, unpaid leaves of absence. I so move.
Thank you. Do you have a second? Jen?
A second.
Jen,
Sorry,
for a second?
Jen.
That's okay. Any discussion? Yes?
Yeah, I got a couple questions if you could bear with me here. When I was going through the agenda earlier, one question that I did have, which Vinny had actually answered for me earlier, was on number 6, certificated administrators, I'm sorry. As I go through that list, like, it looks like it's all principals, vice principals, but then at the top I see 3 people, Ms. Blair, the Director of Special Services, and then 2 supervisors of curriculum and instruction. Why is it that those aren't, like, that just feels like, especially the director position, feels like it's like an upper admin type job. Why isn't it grouped with, like?
Our MTAA unit includes our directors, our supervisors, our principals, and our vice principals. So they're all included in the same unit. It's been that way since well before I got here.
Okay.
It's the administrators unit.
So but if that's, how does that work then? Like, so then that would put the director and supervisor there, but then when we go to section 10, we have.
Number 10?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in number 10, we have Mr. Slattery as a supervisor, yet is that because it's certificated versus non-certificated? Okay.
Yes, and Mr. Slattery is just a standalone, right? He's not in, right, Vin? Mr. Slattery is just a standalone.
Yeah,
right?
and I just
Right,
used
he's
him
on the line.
Yeah.
because he shows as a supervisor, and I was trying to get a correlation there. Okay, and then the other question I had was Mr. Balone. It shows you as the assistant superintendent, but does he get classified? Because I saw that there was the 2 supervisors of curriculum and instruction, but all of our curriculum always goes through, the questions always goes through Mr. Balone as the director of curriculum. So what's the chain of command there? Do these 2 supervisors report to Mr. Balone?
Sure. So yes, they absolutely do. He actually has 3 supervisors that report to him. So he has Jackie Caliente for math, Michael Bowman for ELA, and Morgan Gross as educational technology. Michael used to be the director of curriculum, but we abolished that position, and he's an assistant superintendent, but his duties didn't change. He actually took on taking the lead role with Paul in HR as well. So yes, chain of command, he would be for curriculum instruction.
Okay. And then, sorry, just the last one. So these, not the uncertificated, then, I know, so for instance, Dr. Hibbs, like, you have, a contract that is so many years. Are all of these employees then, they all just get, every year it gets renewed?
They are.
It's not like a multi-year contract?
It is not. They are 1 year annually.
Okay. All right. That was,
Whereas the others could be up to 5 years, correct, Mark?
well, when you say the
Units.
others,
So for instance, the MTEA or the MTAA could have conceivably up to a 5-year deal, correct?
The union contract could be a 5-year, up to a 5-year deal, but the individuals within that unit get appointed annually.
Absolutely.
Yep. And a lot of those folks on the list are also tenured, so even though we go through the motions of reappointing them, technically they're tenured employees. Anybody who's been here, for instance, a certificated staff member who's worked here for 4 years and a day gets tenure. Under the newer law, the older law used to be 3 years and a day, but they changed it probably, about 6-7 years ago?
Yeah.
So now you need 4 years and a day to get tenure. In other words, they couldn't be removed except under certain criteria set forth in the statute.
Right. Okay. And so, okay, that was my question. I appreciate all the information. Thank you.
No problem. Great questions.
Anyone else? I see none. Ben, roll call, please.
Sure. Mrs. Strafasi?
Yes.
Mrs. Amster?
No for 9, 10, and 11, and yes to everything else.
Mrs. Branch?
Yes.
Mr. Petruno?
No for 9, 10, and 11, yes for everyone else.
Mrs. Salachi?
Yes.
Ms. Piernick?
Yes.
And Dr. Heller?
Yes. Mr. Balone, do you have any letters to read?
He does.
I do. I have 3 for tonight. Retirement comments for Michael Fox. Mr. Fox was hired as a school bus driver in September of 2006. During his 16 years of service to the district, Mr. Fox has done an excellent job. Throughout his years of service, he has been conscientious and aware of the great responsibilities of his job. Mike proved to be proficient and thorough in the performance of his duties year after year. Mr. Fox's commitment to the safety and well-being of the children in the district has made him an asset to the transportation department. He will be missed for his upbeat attitude, personality, and adaptability. Mr. Fox has earned the respect of the parents, children, and his peers throughout his years of service. We thank him for his dedication, reliability, and loyalty over the years. We hope that his retirement years are happy, healthy, and fulfilling. Mr. Fox will be missed by everyone in the transportation department. Next are retirement comments for Lisa Horahan. Ms. Horahan began her career with the Marlboro Township Public School District as a school bus driver in February of 1987. During her 35 years of service, Ms. Horahan has done an excellent job and seen many changes take place in the transportation department as well as the district. When she started her career, the department had a number of floater packages, buses that had a stick shift, no seat belts, or a time clock. Ms. Horahan's attitude toward her job is exceptional. Lisa sincerely cares for the children on her routes. She always encourages the students to follow her example and show respect for one another. Lisa has made it her duty to provide the children on her routes the safest ride to and from school that was within her power. She's a pleasure to work with. Her ready smile and pleasant personality will be sorely missed. We hope Lisa's retirement years are happy, healthy, and fulfilling. She will be missed by everyone in the transportation department. And finally, comments for Robin Schwartz. Mrs. Robin Schwartz has faithfully served the children of Marlboro as an IA for the past 18 years. She's spent her time at Abbott working in both kindergarten and preschool programs. Regardless of the grade level, Robin has worked diligently to learn our programs and methods. She worked closely with teachers to learn the unique needs of each student and implement strategies to support them. She can often be found working with students in a small group or preparing materials for an upcoming lesson. Robin's dedication and willingness to learn have made her a true asset to both the staff and students she works with. When asked what she's most proud of, Robin noted working with the children and making a difference in their lives. She explained that she has loved her time here and that Abbott has become her second home. In retirement, she hopes to travel and relax. She's also looking forward to her son's upcoming wedding. In closing, Mrs. Schwartz's experience and dedication will be greatly missed. However, we all wish her a very happy and healthy retirement.
Thank you, Mr. Balone. Welcome. 70 years of being part of Marlboro Public Schools, which is amazing. That is amazing. So you'll be surely missed, but obviously you'll be enjoying the other phase of your life, so that's awesome. Anyway, we're gonna move forward to old business. Anyone have old business? I see none. New business? I see none. We're going to go to public comments. Those who wish to speak should state their full name and place of residence. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Please use a timer in front to be mindful of your time. Members of the public should be respectful and avoid back and forth or debate with administration, professionals, or board members responding to the inquiry or comment. Again, no back and forth. Be respectful and civil. School board members and administration will withhold comment until after public comment. Vin?
I have none on any of my lists, but if anybody would like to speak.
We have none. I'd like to make a motion to close public comments. Administrators and/or board members will respond to afterwards. Do I have a second? Kathleen?
Second.
Any discussion? I see none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Now, would anybody from the board or the administration like to make a comment? Aldo?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just had a question. I think we may have passed it already, but back, the food services contract, there was only one, the contract that was, like, went out for bid. Did it go to the, like, was it a public, is that like a professional services, or is that a public bid that goes out?
It's a public bid, so it was advertised and run by the Department of Agriculture. Had to be a minimum of 20 days. It was out for at least a month. We didn't get much traction. Pomptonian was not interested in bidding, NutriServe. So we only received one bid, which was Chartwell's, which is under review right now. And then the new practice for Department of Agriculture will be sending a memo out to the board regarding our assessment, our evaluation. There's a team of 4 people that are doing it. They have to do independent evaluations of the contract, and then when we make our award, before time we give you a memo with the weighted criteria and the scoring, and you'll see how each individual evaluator scored it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anybody else? Jess?
I had the personal pleasure of having Ms. Schwartz in my son's classroom. She's an incredible person, and I wish her the best of luck in her retirement.
Anyone else?
Just real
Jen?
quick, I just want to thank all the staff and the teachers because they're all so amazing. I've worked with a lot of them when I subbed, and I just think they do such an amazing job. And our PTOs are really doing a great job showing their appreciation. I've seen all of it on Facebook. It's amazing what they're doing. So I just want to thank them too.
Thank you for that. Anybody else? Okay. I see none, so we're going to be moving on. We're actually be moving on to executive session resolution. Be it resolved that in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, the Marlboro Township Board of Education shall conduct a closed session, executive session pursuant to the expectations prescribed by NJSA 10-4-12 for the purpose of discussing matters of attorney-client privilege and personnel matters. It is anticipated that the length of the executive session will be 30 minutes and that no action will be taken in public after the executive session. Be it further resolved that the minutes of the executive session will be released when the need for confidentiality in accordance with the NJSA 10-4-12 no longer applies. Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
Who is that?
Jess.
Jess, okay. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
I have Jill. Any discussion? I see none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. The ayes have it. Everyone, good night. Be safe and be healthy. Thank you.